Hello, Hana. Soul Dr. Nick here. And this morning I want to dive into something a little deeper, a little more out there, not maybe as relevant to myself at this time, and it may be projecting itself in the future. So, just a discussion of the idea of cancer and unlimited growth and losing sight of purpose. And I was contemplating today companies that I've loved, I really appreciated, I use on a regular basis, including right now, this is done on the iPhone that I bought through Costco using wireless providers in Canada like Rogers. And then thinking of Amazon and other big companies as well, and how at the beginning they all had very clear missions, right? Amazon, consumer focused, customer focused, making things faster. Like nowadays we take shipping for granted, and fast shipping for granted, and the ease of transaction and the transparency, and it should only take a few clicks to get something done. And then with Apple and this technology, like it's such a refined package. Like how much technology is in the palm of my hand that never was there even when I went through med school or before. And the cameras as well, especially. How was it that the cameras got so small? I remember like any camera that was small before, it was terrible. And then taking a look at the other ones, like the big media companies like Rogers and Bell, and they used to, and they still do, they connect us all over the globe. And things are significantly cheaper than they used to be. And then Costco, wow, it's so convenient to get so many amazing things. And yet noticing now with this unbridled growth, this idea of profit, of creating a moat, limiting competitors, noticing how things have changed. Noticing the bloat in everything. Noticing right now going to Amazon feels like the wild, wild west in a different way. Not recognizing if products are going to be good, if things are just shipping back and forth, the customer experience, that there's no way to actually talk to a human being, that it takes so many layers. Every single company takes so many layers to talk to a human being. And I've worked for Apple before. I loved it when I used to be the doctor who worked at the Genius Bar, who's like, oh, I can do whatever I want in a way, have 5 people working at once, talk to people about their lives, not have to worry just about efficiency and metrics. And how do I get people moving on to the next product? And I know that's happening because it's actually a feature and a benefit. It's a benefit to the company to keep increasing the bottom line. But what is happening is the whole experience is degrading. Things that used to last longer, especially since they're way more powerful now, last shorter. It's a return to this cycle of the car that doesn't last, because it makes more sense to have something that's replaced, especially when you have such an entrenched customer like myself. I am so connected with all the technologies that are there that leaving it, I haven't been able to leave Amazon. I haven't chosen to leave Amazon Prime. I haven't chosen to leave the Apple ecosystem because that's not the challenge I want to take on right now. And I can notice all the different ways where things just aren't working, where I can't trust it. I can't trust that the things that are uploaded are going to stay there. How do I back things up? How do I have contingency plans for when it doesn't work out? And it's very similar to cancer cells. I keep coming back to cancer because cancer is unlimited growth without death. The exclusion of everything else, thinking that it is the most important cell, forgetting that homeostasis with the rest of the body is what allows it to exist in the first place. And that's part of it right now, is noticing the imbalances. And while noticing the imbalances, not being like, oh my God, everything's devastating, look at this trajectory, it's all gonna end. Because with everything, I can get lost in my dualistic mind, because I look at it and I see our mind as playing chess, but on 2D, 2 dimensions, right? It's either positive versus negative. I'm winning or I'm losing. Forgetting even the 3rd dimension. Oh man, when you look at things and you plot them 3D, it looks so different, it's hard to predict. And then reminding myself of all the dimensions I don't even know. One of my favorite animals is the mantis shrimp, because it can see 16 primary colors where we can see 3. And just imagining what they can see. And then remembering children when they come out without language that actually constrains, because it allows us to communicate, but it's also constraining. They don't see green or blue or primary colors. They see the whole range of things without trying to have to explain it. And I remind myself, as I'm being with even this explanation or this version of truth, that I'm trying to explain something down into language that we can understand. When we can see it, it's just, are we allowing ourselves to perceive it? And it comes back to myself, even doing the work that I'm doing right now in the spiritual world, wanting to bring more consciousness to the creators, people who have the courage to create and build what's next. How do I notice when I shift myself or the organization, Ohana Sage, from having clarity, purpose of vision, reason for existence, harmony, homeostasis with the whole, versus how do I compete? How do I beat? How do I hold on to? How do I exclude? Without that having a purpose. And it's finding that beautiful place, because there's a specialization that I want. I want the specialization where I am here to serve the people that want to be served by me in the best way possible, where I'm working with people where they're at their highest gifts, where I can play, and for those who want to build or to maintain or to do other things, that we're actually doing that together. And then I notice that what if we get to the place where we lose sight of what's important, lose sight of each other? And then how do we keep recalibrating? Because life is just recalibration. It's okay to be uncalibrated, to notice it, and then come back to calibration. And so as I speak this out loud, there is a part of me that hopes that these companies come back into calibration. And we could blame the system, or I could blame the system, I could blame the leaders, all these things, and I don't know. I'm not trying to control them. And what I am trying to do is to use the outside world and what I see and notice to inform myself. How do I want to choose? How do I want to share? How do I want to clarify? How do I want to declare what I want? Amazing. Lots of love. Ciao for now.